Yo, hey there guys, Mooky here, and today is a really great day. Today I'm going to be doing a reboot of What If Izuku Was a Villain remake. And the reason I'm remaking it is because I want to honor the series that basically started me off as a What If YouTube content creator. At first, when I did this series, I didn't think it would be this popular. Hell, I didn't even think I would actually take being a What If YouTuber seriously. I'm being 100% honest. I felt like it was just a complete fluke that I got this popular over one video. And yet, I've now reached over 6,000 subscribers. And it all started with that series. So right now, to honor the series that basically got me this far, I decided to do a one-shot. And this is basically the story on how I originally wanted What If Izuku Was a Villain. However, I still wanted to keep it close to canon because it was still a what if. Now, this is going to be more feeling like a fanfic. Just telling you guys now, because I'm going to be adding my own stuff to this and changing certain things too. So, with that said, let's get into this, shall we guys? And I hope you enjoy this. Izuku Midoriya, age 14. On his very first day back into junior high as a third year, he ran into many tribulations, with his entire class making fun of him of being a hero. His old childhood friend now turned bully, basically exploding one of his notebooks and telling him to go kill himself. And not only that, being attacked by a villain made out of sledge, with soon being rescued by his idol, the number one hero of Japan, All Might, with then asking about if he can become a hero just like him, even though he was born quirkless, with All Might telling him that he can't become a hero without a quirk. With that, it shattered Izuku's dreams. It shattered any chance of him having the future he always wanted for himself. But even so, even when he saw Bakugo basically being smothered and trying to be taken over by the sledge villain, he couldn't just sit back and do nothing. Sit back and see somebody suffering. He ran out there with his body just moving on its own to save the person that has basically tormented his entire childhood. With then, All Might stepping in to save Izuku. With soon, Izuku being scolded again by the heroes this time, while Bakugo was praised for holding his own. With soon leaving, Bakugo basically told Izuku off, telling him that he had it on his own. He didn't need Izuku's help whatsoever, but still said he appreciated though. That Bakugo soon went off home. But then Izuku was actually caught off guard by that, but then caught off guard again by All Might showing up. With soon Izuku basically confused, seeing the number one hero in front of him, until he's saying, "What the hell were you thinking? I told you, you could have got yourself killed. You could have made the situation worse. I told you directly, you can't become a hero without a quirk. It's impossible. Give up on that dream, young man." With soon Izuku hearing those words again, and this time a lot more stricter from All Might, with soon saying, "Fine, I will give up on my dream. I just wanted to be like you. I just wanted to save people with a smile on my face. Is that so hard? Is that so hard to ask for?" But soon Izuku crying, and then running past All Might, run to his home. Soon, All Might feeling a little bit bad, but thinking to himself that this was necessary to make sure that he doesn't do anything stupid like that again. But soon, the next day, as everybody knew about the whole sledge incident and everything, with, well, usual Bakugo basically stopped bullying Izuku. However, everyone still bothered Izuku though, because of that. But then everything went from bad to literal worse. When he was at home eating dinner with his mom, a news article soon appeared on the TV, basically talking about the incident with Izuku and Bakugo, as they talk about Izuku and about him being quirkless and everything. As the person talking basically told them that a quirkless person should not get involved in hero business, as one of them also saying, but even if he didn't, he still was heroic trying to do something while the heroes didn't. While the other person basically told them that if he had a quirk, yes, but he didn't. All he was doing was making the situation worse. He was being a nuisance. With hearing that, Izuku's mind began to go blank from that, as all of his surroundings except the TV took up his attention within the person speaking. Went to all the other heroes that were on the scene, first going to Kamui Woods, basically commemorating Izuku for trying to be brave, but also saying that he was being reckless and stupid. Within Mount Lady, saying if he had the strength to help, he could have, but if he was quirkless, he was just in the way. Within finishing off with Dead Arms, saying that he was completely useless in the situation. He could have made things worse if All Might didn't step in, and we would have had 2 dead kids instead of 1. With soon Izuku basically feeling like his entire motivation, his entire perception of hero society, of everyone around him, began to shatter bit by bit with listening to this. With soon the person finishing off, if you are a quirkless person and you would dream of becoming a hero, forget that dream and move on with your life, because being a hero is nothing but an imaginary pipe dream, because you would be useless to society if you were a hero. With then, Izuku's mind completely and utterly shattered from that, with soon falling into a deep, dark despair. With soon, weeks have now gone by, with even people saw that, news coverage about what happened, with now the bullying getting worse at Aldera Junior High with Izuku, with some people even mocking him even more than before. Again, surprisingly, Bakugo hasn't. Within, as he can tell that Izuku is completely dead inside. With not only that, because of the interview too, Izuku rescind his letter to UA and go to other schools. That would be good for him. But they resent it because he was quirkless. Because of the incident. Thinking of him being that of a problematic child at that as well. But soon, a month has passed, with Izuku going to that of a tall 5-story building, with then looking on top of the city as he begins laughing. As soon he's saying, so this is it. This is how my life is like. Basically ridiculed and treated like crap. All because I wanted to become a hero so badly. With then, all he could do is remember everything that has happened before screaming out, is it so wrong to wanting to become a hero? Is it so wrong wanting to help others? Is it so wrong being quirkless? Is it so wrong just being me? With then, Izuku crying profusely as he couldn't even hear anything. As then, all he could hear was his own wailing, and that's it. Only is crying. But soon, he was about to slip and fall to his death before he was caught by somebody. But then, Izuku looking up and seeing a tall man in a black suit, as he could barely see his eyes, as it looked like the upper half of his face was completely scarred up. But then saying, "Poor Izuku Midoriya, you've been hurt by this society for too long. Don't you agree?" But soon, Izuku, having a hard time looking closely at the man due to his puffy and swole eyes, but soon saying, "Who are you?" Saying, "I'm a man who understands your plea, who understands your suffering. I'm a man who wants to help you in any way necessary for your dream." Soon, Izuku saying, "My dream? What are you talking about?" Saying, "Your dream of becoming a hero. Do you not wish for that?" But soon, Izuku, remembering everything that people told him, from All Might to the news article to even Bakugo, is saying, "What dream? That's basically non-existent. I never had a dream of being a hero to begin with." But soon saying, "Oh, I see. So you've completely given up on that." Within Izuku just nodding, then saying, I see. Tell me, would you like to give up? Would you like to change society? This false hero society that basically makes a quirkless boy want to take his own life." But soon, Izuku basically having wide eyes saying, "Who are you? Are you a hero?" But soon saying, "No, my boy, I am not. I am far from a hero. You could say I am the symbol of evil." So what do you say to that? Within Izuku saying, "You're the symbol of evil? But you just saved my life. You basically caught me before I could fall from this building. But I'm guessing you plan on just using me as a tool or as a pawn." But saying, "Well, maybe, but that's up to you. I will not do such a thing. You are free to go home if you like. Free to live your mundane life as usual. Basically being persecuted, hated, and treated like nothing by everyone around you." Then Izuku hearing this, then remembering everything that he's gone through, but soon saying, "Fine, I will listen to you. I will go with you. If it means I can change the society, even if it means from the shadows, I'll do whatever you say." But then the man basically smiling, saying, Good. But then Izuku saying, "But what should I call you, by any chance? I figure master, but," saying, "You can call me All for One. And you can call me by master if you feel like it as well. I do not mind whatsoever." But soon, Izuku saying, "Thank you, master, All for One, for giving me a new purpose." As All for One lays his hand on Izuku's head, saying, There, boy. You will no longer feel pain anymore." But then Izuku and All for One go to Dr. Ujiko, as Ujiko has been expecting Izuku for quite a bit of time now. With then Izuku's surprise with that, Dr. Ujiko began explaining that if he plans on becoming part of the League and becoming an enforcer, he must have a proper body that can handle all the quirks without transforming into a Nomu. But soon, Izuku asking him what is a Nomu, but then Dr. Ujiko basically giving him a rundown about the bioengineered super quirked human that are normally just basically other humans fused into one as a living corpse. Within, Izuku is kind of terrified at this idea as he begins thinking that that's what All for One wanted to turn him into. Within, All for One explaining that that's not what he wants for Izuku, as he wants to keep his mind and skill set. With soon Izuku asking, what does he mean by skill set, since even though he's quirkless? With soon, All for One holding one of his hero notebooks, as it has tons of information on dozens of heroes over the years, all the way back when he was in elementary school. With the information like this, it would be a shame to lose somebody of his intelligence and planning. And we don't want to lose that by turning him into a Nomu. With soon, Izuku was actually caught off guard by that, because he's never actually, had anybody admire him for his intelligence, admire him for his skills of memorizing heroes. Many people just told him that it'd be useless, that it would be pointless. With that, Dr. Uchiko's saying, so, do you want to take the experiment? So your body would be ready for the quirks that All for One gives you. But soon, Izuku, taking a deep breath, thinking about everything once again, would soon saying yes. Within, Dr. Uchiko prepares a pod for Izuku as he tells him to enter. Yet soon, Izuku enters the pod as it closes, and then liquid begins to basically fill up. With soon Dr. Uchiko telling him that there's a rebreather on there that will knock him out and keep him alive while the procedure is going on. Would soon prepare himself for he will wake up a new person, a new man. But then Izuku falling into a deep sleep. With that, Izuku began dreaming over and over and over again about everything that has happened to him, from his bullying with Bakugo, from his mom telling him that it's impossible for him to be a hero, from All Might telling him it's impossible to be a hero, to even all of society rejecting him for being quirkless. Within, Izuku, seeing this over and over again, began to experience the very first thing that he's ever had in years. Pure rage. Rage at everything, at everyone. He wanted to see all those who made him suffer burn before him. He wanted to see their corpses laid around on the floor. Made them all suffer for everything that they have done to him. But soon, he releases an immense blast that makes him want to destroy everything and everyone with his pure, unadulterated power that he has at his fingertips. Then, Izuku, waking up as the pod empties and Izuku walks out. Within, Dr. Uchiko saying, you are quite remarkable, Midoriya. Normally, I thought the procedure would take at least around 5 months, but you're able to acclimate it to it in just a matter of 3. And you're already awake, walking around like it's nothing. I have to say, I'm quite impressed for a boy of your stature. But soon, Dr. Uchiko was actually taken aback right now because Izuku hasn't said a single word as he looks around. Not only that, he still looks like he has the same face, but it feels a little bit different, as he was oozing a presence that feels that of calm and tranquil, but also death incarnate. But soon, Izuku finally speaking, soon saying, Dr. Uchiko, may I ask? But soon, the doctor saying, go ahead, my boy. saying, please, where is the master? I have to thank him for everything he's done for me, alongside you as well. Soon, the doctor is actually taken back by that, saying, you're thanking me? Saying, soon, Izuku looks at his body for the first time, saying, I don't look any different, but I feel different. I feel a lot more calm, a lot more relaxed, a lot more whole than I did before. So, if that was due to you and Master All For One, I wish to thank you too for that. But soon, Dr. Ujiko was taken aback again, with soon saying, you're welcome, my boy. As for the Master, he's already displayed the quirks that you would need, saying, thank you. And he's upstairs. But then Izuku grabbing some clothes, as it being that of black pants, a blazer, and a tie, as he heads up there to see All For One, looking at tons of news outlets and many heroes basically fighting against villains all across Japan. Soon saying, Master, saying, Izuku, it looks like you're back to your senses again. It's good to see you're doing well now, my boy. But soon, Izuku saying, Master, I wish to. Do not worry. I've already heard what you said to Dr. Ujiko. You have no reason to thank me. But now that you are you, I have tasks for you to do. Soon saying, I will do anything you ask for, Master. You have given me something precious that I do not wish to squander. So, what is my first mission? But then, All For One smiling, saying, your job is to assassinate a certain hero that's been growing in the ranks lately. I feel like he's getting closer and closer to uncovering my secrets. So, if you could, please take care of him. Saying, assassinations? Are you serious? I feel like this is easy. With Soon saying, oh? You feel like this would be easy? Given my skills on every hero that I recognize, I know this hero. He's called Buzzshot, able to create blades from his body and use them as projectiles, besides just using them for close quarters combat. Even though he's good at shooting them like that of long range combat, in close quarters he's basically pathetic and weak. It's why he always stays in the back to take the credit for other heroes' hard work. But soon, All For One clapping, saying, I see. It looks like all the hero knowledge you've stored up over the years has come to true usefulness. But soon, Izuku saying, I will use this knowledge in the name of you, Master. With then, getting up, as soon Izuku, All For One telling him that there's equipment downstairs for him to take down his target. Not only that, he also lists down the quirks that he now has. As soon, he tells him that he has 3 quirks actually. The first quirk is that called Falling Wings, as he's able to emerge from black wings from his back and able to move as fast as he can. Not only that, he's able to retract the wings inside of his body without any problems whatsoever. Originally, if he basically kept those wings inside of him for too long, they can become stiff and hard to fly using anymore. But thanks to his body, he no longer feels that kind of pain when he doesn't even use his wings for too long. So his secondary quirk is called Heightened Senses. All of his senses are now more heightened than they were before. His sense of smell, touch, sight, hearing, and presence sensing as well. everything has now become more powerful than they were. And yes, there would have been drawbacks, but again, thanks to the new body, the drawbacks won't be as more severe as they normally would have been. And last but not least, the most powerful one, as it being that of overload, as his quirk allows him to absorb any type of kinetic energy, being that of physical, sound, electricity, explosive, and the most powerful light energy as well. With that, Izuku is able to store up all this power and even able to take flurries of punishment and use that power to amplify his own type of attacks, being that of either shockwave attacks or that of precise timed attacks as well. That he's able to absorb store a person with so much kinetic energy to the point that they can explode, and even use the energy that he stores up to basically destroy or pierce through or slice through any of the strongest materials ever made in the world of MHA with ease, like cutting through butter. With this, Izuku understands his new quirks, as he now thanks his master for the strength. And the gear he has is that of a black suit, a somewhat the same kind of rebreather that he has as his hero costume, of course. Also, the black suit also has that of holes for his wings to come in and out of. So there's that. And as for his main weapon, as it being that of a single edge sword. With soon, Izuku is ready. But then, Dr. Ujiko stops Izuku for 1 minute and tells him about his new personal caretaker, as Izuku saying, "What? A caretaker? Why would I?" Soon, Dr. Ujiko saying, "It was orders from the master. He wants somebody to keep an eye on you to make sure that you do your missions right, and also look after you when you're not doing your missions. Think of them as as your servant or a maid." With soon Izuku raising an eyebrow at this. With then Dr. Ujiko calls him over, as then it being that of a silver-haired woman wearing that of a mask and a white dress, as it being that of scantily in a way, but mostly made for mobility, as she also has two short swords behind her, actually. What soon she kneels before Izuku, saying, "My name is Sarah. I will be at your disposal, and anytime you need, Lord Izuku Midoriya." But soon Izuku saying, "Izuku Midoriya is dead." But soon Dr. Ujiko is actually taken back by this, saying, "If that is the case, then what should I call you, my lad?" But soon Izuku began seeing all of his memories, as one name keeps popping up over and over and over again, as saying, "Might call me Deku." With then, soon Dr. Ujiko smiling, saying, "As you wish, Deku." With then, Izuku saying, "Sarah, come on," as saying, "As you wish, Lord Deku." With then, the two going off. As for Izuku, he kills, buzz shots with not even batting an eye, actually, as a normal Izuku would have cried and basically hesitates on killing his targets. But this is a heroic Izuku. Not only that, this Izuku has went through the same process as what Shigaraki basically went through with Dr. Ujiko during the time when he defeated the Vanguard Liberation Front, and during the time when UA was doing their internships as well. Not only that, His regeneration and the experiment was somewhat interrupted after what Miriko did. Even though Shigaraki still was 100% all right. This is on what happens if the project had the proper time to fully fleshed out. Izuku is now 100% plus ultra Deku, the perfect human hybrid Nomu, with all the superhuman abilities that are not quirks, even though he does have 3 quirks all inside of him. With this, Izuku was known to be the enforcer of All for One in the League of Villains, taking care of problematic heroes and even villains who think that they could take the spot of the Lord of Crime, All for One. With that, Izuku has always been loyal to the League and loyal to All for One. In a way, he sees All for One as the closest thing to a father. Not only that, some of you may be wondering about Izuku and his mother. Actually, Izuku basically made a proposition to Dr. Ujiko to create that of a corpse to look like Izuku, and even test for his DNA as well to make it look like he was dead, as to be better off dead anyway, since Izuku Midoriya is dead, and in his wake, Deku was born. But soon, that actually escalated, with even the news covering it however, many people didn't even care that Izuku was dead, as they say, who cares? It's a quirkless kid. It's not like it matters. Saying, why bother? It's just a quirkless kid. With one saying, wait, it's not some promising hero? Whatever. With then Izuku saying, same reaction. They got the same reaction when I basically tried to do a hero's job. So of course they wouldn't care if I died too. And besides, it's been 3 months as well, if I last recall. But soon Sarah saying, Master, you seem that if you don't care what people think of you. But soon Izuku saying, that's because I don't. I do not care. But I want to ask about you, Sarah. What are you exactly? Because when I look at you, the outside you look human, of a woman using her assets to seduce a man. But instead, in the inside, I can tell you're like a robot, a tool basically used to do whatever they're ordered to do. As he walks up to her, as Izuku is a lot more taller than he normally was. He's no longer 5'5". He's at least 5'9", actually. But soon, she's saying, that's because I owe, just like you, I owe everything to All for One. I did not care on what happened to me. I will do whatever he asked for, even if it means being your tool or your caretaker, but as they say. But soon, Izuku saying, you're not my tool. You are my caretaker, but you're also my partner. So, remember that. But soon, Izuku preparing for another job. A couple of low-level villains that found out about All for One and are trying to blackmail him that they will rat him out to the cops if they don't give them any backing for their criminal endeavors. But soon, Izuku and Sarah basically slaughtering the villains like they were nothing, and basically made it look like that of a falling out of the group actually instead. With that, Izuku and Sarah leave. But then Izuku began thinking that he needs that of a task force. He needs people to act with him as his partners, just like Sarah. But soon, Izuku actually going to All for One, kneeling before his master, asking him for people that he wishes to be a part of his team, a team that he commands on his own. But soon, All for One was actually taken back by this, within thinking but he also was expecting this too, because he saw Izuku as that of another candidate to be his successor, not just Shigaraki as well. With that, all for One gave him that of dossiers and information on dozens of villains and vigilantes that could be his servants. Soon, Izuku saying he doesn't want that of villains that he would think will just betray him in an instant. And same thing goes for vigilantes too, because they have no loyalty to anyone else but themselves and what they believe in. So, he wants to create his own task force of people that he knows he can trust. People who have also been hurt by this society just like him. With soon, All for One saying, "Do you have any people in mind?" But soon, Izuku began thinking, "Give me time. I feel like I need this." But soon, All for One saying, "You have at least 3 months. 3 months until then." But soon, Izuku bowing before his master alongside Sarara. Then Izuku leaving, thinking to himself on who he could use for his task force. Who are the people who've also been hurt and burdened by Hero Society? But soon, Sarah looking over her phone, as then she's saying, "Why not this man? He doesn't seem, he's a villain, but he's not on the same level as the crooks who think that they can do whatever the hell they want." But then he looking at a YouTube video as it being that of a man in, at least in his, early 30s, calling himself gentle criminal. Within thinking that he's kind of an idiot. With soon seeing all of his videos being that of pranks against, people that have basically abused their powers. So they say. As Izuku and Sarah basically look at these videos, as he actually found them that they are legitimate, about the corruption of these companies that he's been somewhat pranking in a way. With that, he begins thinking, who is gentle criminal? As Izuku began thinking, as he begins looking up information on the certain, villain tuber. Then finally got the information on him. Basically all of his past, especially his first name being that of Danjuro Tobai, as he was originally somebody who wanted to become a hero, as he went to a low-level hero school as a kid during his high school years. But he basically failed the provincial hero's license 4 times, both in his first year and now in his second year. Not only that, he also got held back and now is still in his second year at 18 years old. With that, nobody actually believed he had any chance of becoming a hero. Within an incident with him trying to save somebody, being a window washer. The window washer fell after one of the cables basically broke off. He thought that maybe if he had used his quirk being elasticity, he could create a pocket of air as a comforter for him. But doing so also basically caused him to, interrupt hero business. Doing this, he was completely and utterly ruined his life. With that, he was expelled from school. He was forced to be forced to pay the, heroes and the victims' hospital bills. Not only that, he was even thrown out of his parents' house. Only 4 years later, after his life went through a living hell, he decided to become a villain tuber. As soon Izuku saying that was about at least, 17 years ago. With then Izuku saying, wow, that long ago. with soon Sarah saying he's quite disliked, if anything. His videos are barely even recommended by viewers, but soon he's saying, perfect, he's an enigma. No one will basically suspect him joining with us, or especially be part of my team. With soon Sarah saying, are you sure about this, Lord Izuku? Do you really want to? Yes, I do. The reason being, I can relate to him more than anything. Within a couple days have passed, and Izuku was able to find not just Gentle Criminal, but his partner in crime, La Brava. As the two villain tubers were actually pretty hesitant on joining Izuku, especially if he's with an organization called the League of Villains. With soon, Izuku began talking about his own past, about how he wanted to become a hero so badly, even though he was born quirkless. Within, Gentle's ears began to perk up after hearing this, as he also told him on how he joined the League after basically weeks of ridicule and people treating him like shit. But soon, Izuku even told him about he was almost planning to end his life before being saved by All For One. That Gentle was basically won over by that and would gladly join Izuku's private team. With La Brava was actually pretty skeptical, not wanting, Gentle to basically join a bunch of criminals, with Izuku saying that they don't need to kill. All that they want is La Brava's skills of hacking and Gentle being a reminder of himself, a reminder on why he joined the League, to make sure people like him and Gentle don't happen again. People who just want to help and save others, but are completely rejected by society. With that, that's the first member down, and 2 more to go. Within just a couple more days, La Brava actually suggested an idea to Izuku to choose somebody that's basically close to his age, with being somebody that's in junior high or in high school. Hearing the suggestion, Izuku basically asking, who does she recommend? With her basically bringing up a database on multiple kids that seem like they have villainous quirks, but are basically good, but are good people. With somewhat, Izuku is kind of scary of her hacking abilities, but is also intrigued and is quite impressed as well. Within, Izuku looking at the list as he sees one person that actually stands out of the hundreds, nay thousands of people with villainous quirks, but also want to dream of becoming heroes. As it being a purple-haired boy, same age as him and everything, as his name is Hitoshi Shinso, as he plans on applying at UA this year. Within, Izuku saying, actually, that could work in our favor if I'm going to be honest, as he already has information that, All Might plans on becoming a teacher there in the future. Not only that, he also knows that Shigaraki plans to attack the UA in the future. Until then, this would be a great opportunity to get information on the hero courses. As he looks at Shinso's quirk, as it being that of brainwashing. But soon, having that of a smile, goes to meet with the tired-looking, purple-haired boy. With the first time that Izuku met Shinso, he tries to be his friend, tries to act all friendly with him. Shinso was a bit, hesitant around him, of course, and even believed that he was quite, annoying at that. But over a week, he began taking a liking to him and asking him what's his interest in him, wanting him to join his team, a team that wants to change society for the better. With that, Shinso was a bit hesitant as what this team is called, with Izuku saying the name is still pending, but right now my organization is that of the League of Villains. With then Shinso was really hesitant now, especially since he said it's League of Villains, being that he's a part of a villain group. With soon Izuku saying, I get it, you want to become a hero so badly, and joining a villain group would just seem out of the question. But tell me, do you really expect UA to accept somebody like you because you have a brainwashing quirk? Doubtful. With soon Shinso saying, what are you? Look at you, Shinso. You didn't even focus. UA does want heroes, and you have the perfect quirk as a hero. But you didn't focus on your body strength, becoming stronger. And the entrance exam is in 5 months or now. Do you not know what the entrance exam implies? Not just getting into the hero course, but also in combat as well. You can't always rely on your quirk. And that's exactly what this society does to a person. With soon begins spitting everything about society and how Shinso was made to believe that quirks are everything, even though physical strength can gain a person just as much ahead in life as anything. Realizing this, he's been completely lied and manipulated this entire time. Even though he could have gotten stronger during his time, all he was doing was self-loathing about not having that of a powerful quirk. With soon hearing this, Izuku extended his hand towards to the purple-haired boy, as then Shinso accepted and joined the League of Villains, Izuku's private team though. That makes a total down to 3, or should I say 4, counting Labrava. As Izuku now wants to gain one more member, at least a member that basically understands the corruption and pain of hero society from within, who knows all the dark secrets and dirtiness that can happen, and how two-faced it can become. With then, Izuku basically looks over an old news article on a pro that he remembered back when he started out in junior high, that being that of Lady Nagant, who had a high potential of being part of the top 10 pros in Japan. With soon Sarah saying she's been missing for almost about 3 to 4 years, if I recall. With soon Izuku saying, that's true. She basically fell off the map, especially on what happened to the Hero Public Safety Commissioner, that he was assassinated by a villain. But it seemed weird. They never say on how he was assassinated, only said that he was assassinated. With soon, Labrava, hearing this conversation, basically digged up old police files that were kind of, well, let's just say secluded, and not even the average police officer would know, or even the best of the best would know about this one. And as it said that Lady Nagant, in basically a moment of psychotic behavior, killed the former head of the Public Safety Commission. Within, Izuku basically wanted to know on where she's at. Within, they say Tartarus prison. With that, Izuku's curiosity is kind of piqued, as he wants to know on how to get in. With soon Sarah saying, I can be at service to you, master. Within, Izuku saying, let's go on. And she soon explained on her quirk, as it's called Dimensional Slash. She's able to create warp gates from condensed energy made from her blades. Within, she's able to teleport to anywhere and to any person that she thinks of, no matter their location though. With soon, Izuku was quite intrigued about this, And why not say anything about this before? Within, she's saying, you didn't ask. With Izuku basically facepalming, saying, true enough. After that, he soon brings a photo of Lady Nagant and saying to focus on her and teleport and create a portal to her cell in Tara's prison. But soon, Sarah looks closely, remembering every little detail about Lady Nagant. Soon, she brings out her twin blades from her back. Then she creates she slashes into the air as a blue-like portal appears. With soon, Izuku couldn't help but enter it. With that, Lady Nagant was actually taken back about this a little bit, and soon already readied her rifle quirk, pointed right at Izuku. She's saying, you have 1 minute to explain yourself before I shoot you dead in your chest. Understand? But soon Izuku saying, completely. As Izuku explains himself in basically under a minute and the reason why he's there. But soon she was actually taken back that he really said all that in a minute, and was him wanting to join her team. With that, she's saying, what's the catch? Within, Izuku saying, no catch, just part of my team. You'll be free. But there is a chance you may have to kill people. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. That's all I'm asking. With that, she was actually taken back by this. But soon, reverting her arm back to normal. And she says, okay then, what should I call you? But soon, as Izuku says, Deku. And as for the team name, it's still pending. I will tell you this. As they soon enter the portal, Tartarus Prison is now on high alert, noting that Lady Nagant has disappeared out of nowhere. But soon, the portal now closes. Within, Sarah saying, my master, are you okay? But saying, I'm fine, Sarah. Thank you once again for your aid. I truly appreciate it. But soon, everyone looks at Lady Nagant, within saying, so this is your team? It doesn't seem like much. But soon Izuku saying, I want people that understand this society, who understands the flaws, the hypocrisy, and the lies that it spreads, and expect us to basically accept it. That's all. What about you, Lady Nagant? Will you accept this society and lay down as it continues spitting its lies? Because we already understand what happened, but we want to understand it from your point of view. Soon, she begins saying, it's not faint of heart, so there are some things that you might not want to hear. But soon Izuku saying, try me. Within, she begins listing down as that she was a public safety hero that was known for assassination jobs, from killing vigilantes and even villains who haven't even done any crimes before they even had a chance to even do them. Even killing her own fellow heroes who seem problematic to hero society as well. That being speaking about hero society as a whole. Within, everyone was kind of taken back about this, as they knew that hero society was quite hypocritical, but to go that far to killing innocent people before even due process was quite twisted. And soon, Izuku saying, now we have more of a reason to put an end to this corrupt and twisted society, which soon offers a hand to Lady Nagant, asking her to join their team to create at least a more better and more honest society. But then, she hesitating quite a bit, due to her still having that of the spirit of a hero, but also has seen the twistedness, and even can see that Izuku was genuinely serious about what he wants. But soon, she accepting, right then and there. With now, Izuku has at least a few members on his team, at least the prime members at that. With now having a name, as they will now be known as the League of Villains Termination Squad, as their job is to eliminate those who threaten the League and protect those who were basically cast out by Hero Society. With now, everything is planned out, with them going on a couple of missions, and even Shinso now learning combat, not just from Izuku, but also from Lady Nagant and from Sarah as well, as it was basically hell because he had to learn all of this stuff on the fly. He was even given a couple of, black market support items to help him in the entrance exam, so he could probably get the upper hand on them, even allowing him to get into Class 1A a lot more better than he normally would have in canon, even though he was already going to replace Izuku in the first place. At least he got a lot more, notoriety than before. Within, everything goes out just as would. Shinso would become the spy for the League of Villains. As for Izuku, he would still remain in the shadows, assassinating the enemies of the League until the USJ incident. As I feel like that would play out just as it would in canon. I mean, there would be some changes after all. I actually feel like, Suyu and Mineta wouldn't actually die, but I feel like Mineta would actually want to, resign from UA, because as it said that Izuku was a sense of encouragement for Mineta after all, to let him actually stay in UA after all. So yeah, I think he would drop out due to the pressure, as he wanted to be a hero but not be killed for it though. As for the Nomu, All Might would still defeat it with going plus ultra after all. But it would take a lot more than it normally would, especially since he gave his quirk to Mirio after all, with soon All Might basically taunting Shigaraki and Kurogiri to attack him, with making it basically a setup for the faculty of UA to come and take him down, to take Shigaraki out. With then a bullet was coming straight for Shigaraki's hands, as then the bullet was soon cut in half by a single blade, as that blade came from Izuku, who was already in the building, falling from the ground with his wings, with him having his villain gear on. With then Shigaraki saying, Who the hell are you? Saying, Master Shigaraki, I've been asked for All for One to keep you safe. After all, please, Kurogiri, send him back, will you? But soon Kurogiri already recognized that this is Izuku, being Deku, saying, of course, Deku. But then creating a warp gate behind Shigaraki, pushing him in. But then, All Might recognizing Izuku, even though his voice is modulated, he recognizes the, messy green hair, saying, you're... It's been a while, All Might. Looks like you're not doing so well. Be grateful I never told anybody about your secret. Call it one last favor to an old fan, after all. With then saying, young Midoriya, but I thought you were... Sorry, I don't have time to speak to you. As soon saying, bring me back. Within, a blue portal appears, like in that of an X. As then, Izuku walks in with a couple of faculty members trying to come after him, being that of Cementos and Ectoplasm. But they were too slow to catch Izuku. But then, Shigaraki asks, who the hell are you really? And who the hell is she? But soon, Izuku saying, my name is Deku. Codename Deku. And I'm the leader of the League of Villains Termination Squad. It's a pleasure to finally meet you, Master Tomura Shigaraki. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. And this is only just the first part of this series. I mean, I have way much more because I want to go through at least each season as a whole from Izuku's experiences as a villain. So yeah, expect more in the next couple of months or possibly in the next couple of weeks. I can't really say for sure. Any rate, please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I appreciate that. Please check out my Discord and gaming channel. Links to be in the description below. And also check out the supporters of this video as well. So with that said, this is Mooky signing out. White Fox, play it off.
Hi everyone, this is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!